All right, I'm here with Tristan. Woohoo!
What's up, guys?
So Tristan's here to drop off the snake that we got from the USARK raffle deal.
Yep.
Fundraiser, I guess you call it, right?
Yep, it was a fundraiser all for USARK, yeah.
Yeah, so he did a great job. Rose $660 or something?
$660.
$660, yeah. So that's a great opportunity to get some money over to USARK, right?
For sure, yeah. 100% of all donations went to USARK, and right now they need our help more than ever. So it was great to do that and help them out, and then give away a snake as well.
Let's see this baby.
Awesome. So right here, this is a baby from a vanilla het ultra male bred to a het ultra male, and this right here is a vanilla ultra male.
Ooh, it's bright.
The contrast on this guy, This is a boy. The contrast on this guy is amazing. He is on frozen thawed already.
Nice. That's a plus. I love my frozen thaweds here. Well, he's a pretty boy, and he's got some weight on him, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go get him over into quarantine, and we'll get him warmed up. So we do quarantine for about 3 months over here, so now, now it starts over. So all these ones that are in here, I have to leave them in here 3 months starting now. I'm going to take the water out because I always do preventative mite treatment before they go in, and they'll get in the water and then they'll drink it and it's bad, right? Mm-hmm. They could die from that.
Yep.
So that's that, and we'll see you in the next video because we're actually going to do a little video about isopods.
Yep.
And the isopod taste test. So right. We're going to do a little bit on that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. We'll piece it together. All right. Okay, so we're outside now. We're gonna go and do some hunting for isopods to give you guys an idea, kind of like where you can find isopods around your house. So we're gonna go to Tristan because he knows a little bit more about these little critters than I do, and we'll see what we got.
All right, guys, let's start looking. Now, generally, they could dig. They're not gonna go too deep sometimes, but usually they're gonna be right under wood. They like to eat rotting wood. They like to eat fallen leaves. Not fresh leaves, so they're cleanup crews, so they eat kind of already what's dead and what's decomposing.
Okay.
So you see all the rotting wood, all these right here. Usually they're gonna be snacking on these, almost like these holes that it has right here. Usually they could honestly just be bite marks from these guys. Okay.
Oh, there's one right there.
Here we go,
guys. You found one the first scoop.
Look at all these guys right here.
That's a ton.
There's a ton of these guys.
There really is a ton right there. You probably have 40 of them right there.
Yeah. You can see them right there.
So what would this common isopod, do you have any idea what the common one is called? Like you'd find right here?
Honestly, I'm not too sure on the exact species right here that we have right here, but I could definitely look.
All right, I got a good shot of it. Somebody will know.
Yeah.
Put it down in the comments if you know what kind of isopod that is, Kevin from Isopodemic. He'll know. You ever follow that guy?
Yeah.
He's awesome. They do lives all the time too. Him and Drew from 408, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the powder oranges. There's not going to be any powder oranges, huh? Ooh, look at that one. It's different.
A big guy right there.
Wow. Look at this sucker. Now, would you take one like this and put it into your colony of isopods straight away?
Now you could, but so if they're different species, they're obviously not going to breed, so they have to be in the same family.
Oh.
But they could definitely survive in there and thrive, and if you're just putting one or something like that in there, they're probably not going to out-compete each other, because that is something that you have to be careful about when you're introducing things like soil. Sometimes you can introduce soil into your isopod enclosures, and that soil will actually have other like organisms in there, and they'll outcompete what's already what you're trying to grow in there. So your isopods will actually get outcompeted by other things like bacterias, like other animals, spiders. I've seen that as well before in people's enclosures. So you have to make sure that whatever you're putting in there is not going to outcompete what you want to grow and what you want to thrive.
Nice. Well, that's good info. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, let's go inside and we're going to check on the because today's day 3 and we got to see if they like oak leaves or what they're gonna. I think I'm gonna give them Magnolia next, and then after that it's gonna be African sumac. Those are the 3 trees I have around my property. So I'm trying to feed them from from right here at my house. Okay, so the next leaf is going to be Magnolia. Okay, this is a little gem magnolia tree. So my magnolia leaves are small. And I'm doing about this size leaf for every leaf I'm sticking in there. So I'm keeping the leaf size about the same so we can see about how much they're eating. So this was 3 days on the oak. So we'll open this up and take a look. Wow, they did a good job. They really mashed that up. So there's lots of holes in this leaf. They got all the edges really good. I think this might be a medium kind of density leaf compared to like Magnolia. Seems like it's a thicker leaf.
Yeah.
So I think the oak, they should have been able to do more damage to the oak in a few days. But this is about what they got through. So I'd say maybe 20% of what I put in there they ate, but they did a really great job at trimming all these edges up. So they're really attacking it. They're going for it. But that's only about maybe 20% of what I put in there. So I'm going to clean that out. I'm going to put in the next leaf. And while I'm doing that, Tristan, can you tell me what I should do when I go out foraging for leaves?
Yeah, so when you go out, and if you're like me, I live kind of like in the inner city, kind of, and I don't have access to a lot of leaves that don't have pesticides. You have to make sure that if you're going to get leaves from your yard, from nature, that they don't have pesticides. Now, if they don't have pesticides, that still doesn't mean they're clean. So you have to make sure that you boil these. So just go ahead, get a pot, put all your leaves in there, boil them, make sure, I like to cover it, make sure the steam gets everywhere so that these things are completely clean, make sure they're dry. And once they're dry and completely free, and remember, free of pesticides, you can throw them in there. They're going to be a great snack for your isopods.
Great tip. Let's do it. Okay, so there you go. We're going to leave that in there for 3 days, and we'll check back on it, and we'll see what's what. Do you mist your leaves when you feed them, or do you feed dry?
I probably have, and then when it's time to mist, I'll just mist them, and then things wet. But when I throw them in, I usually just throw them in. As long as they're clean and ready to go, I do throw them in dry, and then whenever it's time to mist, you just mist. Yeah.
So do you do food on one side and water on the other side, or do you kind of mix it all up?
So it really just depends. So I do have a water on one side. I make sure I have kind of like a hydration station. So I'll put about, depending on the species, some need more, some need less. But I'll put about 20% of the entire enclosure will have sphagnum moss. Make sure that's nice and wet. And the rest, depending on how much of a dry or humid species they are, that's how much I will spray on that side. The Cubar species, your rubber duckies, all that, they do like it a little bit more wet. So I'll make sure the hydration station is very, very wet. And the rest is also pretty damp as well, but for the most part, I'll just throw the leaves dry, and then if there's still some leaves in there when they're there, I just spray everything. Food, I will, I like to give them a really, really wide variety, and I like to see what they like, so I'll usually make a different pile. I'll make a pile of eggshells on one side, a pile of Repashy morningwood on one side, a pile of, just calcium powder on one side, and then just maybe some fruit on another side, but I make different piles. That way I can keep track, see what they like, see what I can give them as treats if certain species like other things more than others.
What's their favorite fruit that you've found so far?
Carrots. They really like carrots. I would say that's number one. Potatoes, but I think carrots has to take the cake for sure.
Nice. All right, well, let's check with the pandas and see what pandas. I wish I had pandas. Let's check with the dairy cows. Okay, go. All right, let's check under there and see what we got. Oh, well, actually, it looks like they ate more than the power oranges. So I think these guys might like oak. They actually really ate it up. So I'd say they probably ate 40%, compared to the 20%. So I think that's a win for them. So we're gonna mark that down that they really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna clean this out. I'm gonna put the Magnolia and we'll put them back to bed. But look, it's going over to it right now. Look how big it is. There's a nice dairy cow right there. These are hiding. Hopefully they're mating.